Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the July 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Cancer. So before I do that, I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, and subscribing. It means the absolute world to me to have your support. And also for those who've been sharing my videos as well, thank you so much. It means the world to me to also see your comments and see how these videos have been relating to your life, how it's helped in some way, your general feedback. So thank you for taking the time to share that with me. Also, I have a couple of announcements. I will be having a 10% discount on all personal readings for the month of July because it is my birthday month. So if you're curious about having a personal reading with me, you can book on my Facebook page. The link is down below in the description box, and you can also see it here. All right. So if you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so and get 10% off throughout the entire month of July. And that includes if you book more than once as well. Also, last announcement, I will be hosting a bonus July general reading for all signs, and that will be hosted on Instagram Live, IGTV. So I can't wait to do that. It's going to be so much fun. So if you are on Instagram, make sure you follow me. You can find the link on my channel's banner. And yeah, I'll post an announcement video as to when I'll actually be doing the live session. I haven't decided on the date and time yet, so keep an eye out for the announcements. All right, so Cancer. We are now in your season. I'm so excited to do this reading for you. I know there's been so many shifts taking place. It's crazy what's been going on astrologically, and you've had so many placements in your sign recently. Planets, in your sign passing through lately. So, and we now have Mercury retrograde in Cancer, of course. So, yeah, it's a crazy time to be a Cancerian, but I don't doubt that good things are on the way. So let's have a look then in regards to your monthly reading. For the spread, I'll be using a Celtic cross style, and I'll be pulling firstly from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then I'll be pulling some clarification cards using the intuitive. So let's get stuck in, Cancer. Yes, I'm feeling very energized today. If you can tell, I've had so many messages and downloads coming in today. It's ridiculous. So this should be an interesting reading for you. It is primarily going to be an intuitive reading. And I have to let you know, as always, if it does not resonate, what am I trying to say? If it doesn't resonate for you, that's fine, okay? It simply wasn't your message. Don't try and force it to your situation. And please don't get upset if it isn't your message, okay? You'll know if it is, it will just resonate with your circumstances. If only parts of it resonates, that's fine. Just take the parts that does. If anything doesn't, leave it behind. It's not your message, okay? Picking up a lot of energy, so just take what does. All right, so let's get into it. Cancer, what's happening for you in July? Ooh, okay. So I'll do what I always do. I'm getting the main spread out first, and we'll go through the meanings of these card placements. And then we'll go into pulling the clarification cards and going into their relevance afterwards. Okay, so Cancer, let's see. In regards to your present circumstances, you have the Four of Swords in reverse, so air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You could have felt like you was in a very precarious position recently. There was a lot that you were taking on. There was a lot that you had to process. There was a lot of healing that was required as a result of many circumstances that you were navigating. And you may have felt as such that you were dangling on a knife edge, right? That you were literally on the precipice of falling if you didn't take careful steps forward. But I feel like, however, that pressure, that fear, that concern, anything that makes you feel uneasy and unsafe, or that you may be at risk, or you may be at the risk of failing in some way is being removed, it's being lifted, okay? So I really like that. In regards to your challenge, you have the Five of Wands in reverse, so fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, got that. So this is talking of, you know, discord, disorder, okay? So it's finding calm within the chaos, essentially, because I feel like that's a real challenge for you at the moment, particularly in the month of July, Cancer, because there's going to be so many more shifts taking place, a lot of changes. And, you know, there will be some friction, as we're already seeing in the world. There is a lot of friction right now between various people. Lots of different energies are clashing between the old and the new, right? So you're going to feel that, okay? You're picking up on that already. So your challenge, especially for the month of July, is to be able to weather the storm, you know, find the calm within the chaos, right? Because being a water sign as well, that energy, your innate energy, is going to be very much needed, okay? So it's really important that you are calm and you find centered balance within yourself, for yourself first and foremost, but also to aid the collective and those in your environment, okay? So, and I feel like as well, there might even be some people that you'll come across that'll be pushing you, they'll be challenging you. There may be some conflict, right? And you have to not rise to it, okay? Don't let them get a rise out of you, is what I'm getting, all right? So the next card you have in regards to your recent past is the Death card in reverse, Scorpio energy. Could be dealing with a Scorpio or have this prominently in your chart. Regardless, with this being in reverse, I feel like you came to understand that nothing is ever really, you know, over. Nothing truly ends, right? That there's cycles, that things are circular, that it comes in waves, it comes and goes, right? And I think you're coming to the understanding that some things have not been released yet because they're not done, because it's not over. That's what I'm getting. It isn't over, it's not finished. There is unfinished business, there's something that still needs to be done or said or understood. So we'll look at that when we clarify as to what that is. In regards to your near future, you have the Seven of Pentacles, Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Gorgeous energy. That means self-investment. That means investing in a situation, investing in your career, investing in your health, investing in your well-being, right? Overall, okay? Your financial security, right? Possibly, if you are self-employed, you're going to be investing in your business further, or perhaps you will begin a new business if you aren't already. For some of you, it's a case of that you are ready to invest in your skill set because you want to be able to apply for a better job. For others of you, you want to bring your skills to the table and really demonstrate your value so that you can, you know, ascend within a certain career path, right? So you're really looking at how can I evolve? How can I invest in me? How can I get myself where I want to be? And you're taking each step carefully up towards this goal, right? You are on the path is what I'm getting. So that's great. I love that. Okay, so the next card you have in regards to your feelings, you have the Nine of Cups in reverse. So this is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, your energy. So you're feeling like, I think you feel like you have a hard time focusing solely on yourself because you are very giving, you're very nurturing. That's second nature to you. You are the maternal figure, right? That's just your innate character, right? For those of you that I'm picking up on, like you are very much got that Cancer energy about them, right? You are motherly, you care for others, right? So you find it hard sometimes to put yourself first and foremost. However, I feel like what you're finding in this current situation is that by putting yourself first, you can actually then be in a better position to assist others. So you're understanding that while it may seemingly come across as selfish to put yourself first, it actually serves everyone's best interest for you to do that right now. Because if you're running on empty, how are you going to assist anyone else, right? So you're understanding the importance of self-care in all capacities, right? Because you may not have been giving yourself all that is needed or all that you needed at the time, right? So you're understanding where it has to be, you know, a complete approach to your well-being. In regards to your what's crowning you at this time, so what's within your power to affect, the energy surrounding you, you have the Daughter of Swords. So this is the Page of Swords, okay? Air energy again. So you're understanding, right? You're coming to a place of understanding that, you know, certain decisions that might kind of feel a bit contradictory to your nature can actually be very good for you, that can actually be very much serving your purpose or your principles or your ideologies or your beliefs, right? Just because it may not feel like that because you have to take a different route or you may have to try a new approach to something doesn't mean that it's not going to still enable you to stand by your beliefs, by your views, by your principles, right? So that's really interesting. I don't know why that specifically came up, but that's what I got. Like, you know, it's a new approach, but it's okay. It doesn't mean you have to bend your values in any way. It's that kind of energy, right? So interesting. I like that. Okay, the next card you got in regards to your advice is the Magician. Love this, okay? So you're being asked to step into the role of the magician, to be a manifester, someone who thinks it, speaks it, and it becomes it, right? It just becomes, right? And you can only do that when you're operating in the energy of the magician. That's knowing you have the tools, that's knowing your strength, that's knowing your ability, knowing your power and what you can affect in the world. And the essence of your will, right? And being in that position of knowing that you are manifesting with the best intentions, right? So this is it. This is what you're being called to do. It's like, listen, you have everything that you need to accomplish everything that you want in life. So begin. You know, it's pretty much that. Interesting. Okay. So the next card you have is the Six of Cups in reverse. So more water energy in regards to, your external influences. So this can be people, places, environments, scenarios, okay, that are playing out, situations. So everything that's outside of yourself at this time. You have the Six of Cups in reverse. So this is telling me that there are significant changes in your environment, especially when you step more into this energy. You're going to see huge changes. That maybe energies that kept resurfacing from the past will be cut dead in their tracks. Maybe you're feeling like while there were certain things from your past that you may miss, it no longer has a place on the current trajectory that you're on, right? And maybe you're trying to, it's like some part of you is like, I don't need to go back in order to, you know, try and obtain what I missed and lost, you know, because it's not serving of where I am now. What I want to go back and look at is how I can best nourish myself so I don't fall into the same pitfalls again that I did in the past. So I don't find myself in the toxic connections that I had in the past. Because I feel like you're making some significant new connections that are really aligned to where it is that you are headed, what you want, what your principles are, your belief systems, your values, okay? What you really respect and understand as being a universal truth, right? So you may be making new connections with people who hold similar values. Interesting. Okay. So you might even be finding your soul tribe, just saying. So the next card you have in regards to your fears, in regards to your fears is the Eight of Swords in reverse. So this is air energy, of course. So with the Eight of Swords in reverse, It's like the thing about cancers, okay? I have cancer in my sun and rising sign, so I have a good understanding of how cancers operate, right? Cancers, we have this tendency to get very complacent in certain situations, right? Because they are known to us, they're familiar, they don't rock the boat, there's no uncertainty, or at least we think that it's not, but anyway. So we can get complacent in certain situations that are not serving us, that are not even destined for us, right? Because they are not aligned to what it is that we want. They're not actually helping us grow in any way, right? So there may be certain situations or certain beliefs that you hold or certain thoughts that you have that you're afraid to release entirely because of, well, what am I going to replace it with, and what's going to happen as a result? And there's an element of risk there, or is there fear of not holding something familiar, right? But you understand that you have to be fluid, go with the flow. You're water, okay? You have to, be in that element, that zone, right? And not be so rigid in your thought process, essentially, right? But especially in situations that aren't serving you, okay? And then in regards to your hopes, you have the Father of Pentacles in reverse. So this is King of Pentacles energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn could be dealing with any of those signs. But with this in reverse, I feel like it's saying you're hoping that any imbalance that you find within yourself, anywhere where you feel like you're not as dependable or as grounded or as capable, right? Because I feel like this is in relation to you, even though this could be someone that you're dealing with. But I feel like you're wanting to overcome any situation or any aspects that make you feel like you are not capable, that you're not independent, that you can't provide, right? Because this is like the energy of a provider, someone who creates emotional stability, but it can be that too. But it creates physical stability, material stability, financial stability, creates firm foundations, is able to build a castle on firm foundations, right? Has things well planned out, is very organized, is very dependable as well, very trustworthy, loyal, right? So maybe in any aspect where you feel like you struggle with any of that, especially if you have trust issues, as in, because you've been hurt so much in the past, you find it difficult to trust and to fully invest in a connection, you're hoping you can overcome that. If you're afraid that, because you've had difficulty with finances or difficulty with really being able to create a true home for yourself, you're hoping that you can overcome that. And I believe that you will, but it's better to focus more on the positives rather than the negatives. So rather than being like, oh, I hope I can, my aim is not to be broke again, or not to be in a loveless connection again. Like, rather than it being like that, it's like, why not focus on, I am going to be loved. I am going to be expressing love. I am going to build a beautiful home. I am going to, you see how that's completely a different energy. So if you come from that mindset rather than the fear mindset of, oh, I hope I don't end up homeless again, or I hope I don't, mix in the wrong crowd, things like that, it makes a big difference, believe me. Okay. And then the last card you have in regards to your potential outcome is the Three of Swords in reverse. So overcoming pain, overcoming suffering, overcoming attachments and entanglements that caused a great deal of suffering for you. So that's what's potentially playing out, in the month of July, that you're finally going to free yourself from the things that cause you distress, that cause you pain, that made you question your capabilities, that made you question if you were worthy enough, if you, dependable enough, if you can trust in others, if you can put your love, give your love to others, and not have it abused, you know. It's that sort of thing, overcoming all these things. So good, I like that. Good to overcome that shit. Okay, so let's see, let's have a look in regards to the clarifications now to see what else we can find out when it comes to, oh, there's a lot going on there, but okay, when it comes to your reading. Okay, and as I said before, if this doesn't apply, that's fine, don't force it. Just take the parts that resonate and leave what doesn't. If none of it resonates, it's not your message. It's all good, right? That it's nothing to be worried about. It just wasn't for you, okay? There's a lot of people in the world. Yeah, not every message is for us, I'm afraid. Okay. So we'll get the last cards out. Okay, I feel like that's relevant. Okay, so into the clarification now. With regards to the Four of Swords in reverse, for your present circumstances, you have the King of Pentacles in reverse and you have the Magician in reverse. So it's interesting how you have the King of Pentacles in reverse twice in your reading. So you could very well be dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And yeah, especially with the Magician in the upright and the reverse. It's a case of right now, there is certain things, there's a certain situation that I feel like maybe is tied into this feeling of being stuck, that Eight of Swords, that you're finding it difficult to overcome. You feel like you're not able to change it to get to the desired result, okay? That no matter what path you take, it leads to the same feeling of being stuck, the same outcome of not really knowing what to do. I feel like certain challenges that you faced are being removed, okay? So that you can feel like you can breathe, that you can take a moment's pause, and you don't have this weight on you anymore. But at the same time, it's like you have to make certain changes, right? There's a decision that needs to be made, and there's a space in which you need to operate in order to create that stability that you're seeking so badly for yourself, okay? Because right now I feel like you're not really in the Magician mode. That's why it's showing up in reverse, okay? You're not really actively working with the tools that you have not that you're not working with it at all, but you're not utilizing them as much as you could be, right? There's more that you can do in order to change things in your present circumstances, right? So yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like right now, there's certain things that's kind of being taken care of for you on your behalf, but there's certain things you need to do to really step into that space of manifesting serious changes in your life, right? So in regards to your challenge, the Five of Wands in reverse here, you have the Nine of Cups in reverse, you have the Queen of Wands in the upright. So didn't we have, no, maybe not, okay. And we also have the Four of Cups in reverse here. Okay, so I feel like when it comes to your challenge, like I said, there's a lot of chaos. It's trying to find chaos, calm within the chaos. I feel like you're understanding that, yeah, you got the Nine of Cups in reverse again. So you are understanding that sacrificing your happiness in order to appease others, in order to not have conflict, is not the answer, okay? That you can still avoid conflict as well as possible, as best as you can, without sacrificing your happiness, without doing, people pleasing or trying to make everyone else happy at the expense of your own happiness, right? That's not what you're being asked to do at this time. you know. So where you've been turning down opportunities for, you know, emotional fulfillment, you need to stop doing that, okay? You need to stop self-sabotaging your own happiness, because you are showing up as the Queen of Wands. It's like you are very passionate, you're very creative, you're very inspirational, you know. You may be very attractive as well. I feel like you do draw a lot of attention to yourself. You know, with the Queen of Wands energy, that's what she's all about, right? She's very attractive, very alluring, very passionate, confident, capable, you know, of manifesting, you know, like the magician. But you're not necessarily seeing it, you know, because you're downplaying your energy, you're downplaying yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice by trying to appease everyone else's ego and fulfill their happiness at the expense of your own. That's what you need to overcome here. You need to find another way to try and avoid conflict and create a sense of calm without, you know, putting yourself on the line, essentially, for other people's happiness when they're not necessarily considering your own happiness, right? So enough, stop with that, okay? That's what you're doing this month. You're having to learn that, no, it's okay to have healthy boundaries, and it's okay to put yourself first, because you need to in this case, right? Because people are overstepping your boundaries and they're trying to get you to do everything under the sun to appease them and not, you know, meet you in the middle, okay? So clarifying your recent past, the Death card in reverse here. You have the, I believe that's the Judgment card. Yeah, just forgot for a second. The Judgment card here. Then you have the King of Cups in reverse, and you have the Queen of Cups in reverse. Oh my gosh, that's a pair. So, wow, okay, this is crazy. So you got Death in reverse, Judgment, and the King and Queen of Cups in reverse. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh my gosh, okay, so you were dealing with someone in the past that was, you know, there was a karmic connection with this person, soul level connection, but it was very karmic. You both had to learn some serious lessons in this connection. It was very difficult, it was very trying and challenging, and it brought out both of your shadow aspects, okay, in each person. Because there were a lot of things that were unhealed, especially when it comes to your interpersonal relationships, okay? So those things were being brought to the surface to help you understand and heal them. However, there is still more healing that needs to take place. So don't be surprised if this person resurfaces, right? Because maybe things were left unresolved. Maybe there is a discussion that needs to take place. Perhaps there needs to be a level of understanding that needs to be met, you know, especially if you were like pointing fingers and who blames who and who did what, right? So there's a level of understanding that needs to be reached for this situation to be truly resolved and truly put to bed, because it's not over, right? So don't be surprised if a communication does come up between you and this person, which could trigger a conflict if you're not careful, right? So that could be what the Five of Wands in reverse is pertaining to, you not having this dispute with this person, because otherwise you're just going to go back around the same merry-go-round again and nothing gets resolved. Whereas you want to release this for good, so you need to have that you know, resolution, essentially, right? There needs to be a conclusion to the situation. All right. So in regards to your near future then, the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands, and you have the Star card in reverse, so Aquarius energy. Yes, I think you understand that, you know, it's a process, right? Obtaining whatever it is that you're going for in life, it's a process. It takes time. You know, so you're taking necessary steps, you're taking new approaches, you may be learning new skills to assist you in this journey, but there's something that you're struggling to alchemize within a situation in order to bring you closer towards this goal, right? There's something you're struggling to really bring together, right? I just want to quickly see what that is. There's a struggle here with your manifestation. And I think that's why you're showing up as the Magician in reverse in your present circumstances. There's something you're struggling with in terms of your manifestations. I feel like you're on the cusp of getting past that and going into a breakthrough. But there's something you're struggling. Yeah, 9 of Swords and the Lovers in reverse, Gemini energy. You could be dealing with a Gemini. Gemini had a lot of water come up in their reading. So if Gemini is relevant to you, I do recommend cross-watching Gemini's reading. But anyway, I feel like in regards to this, it's saying that maybe the thing that's blocking you from obtaining your wish fulfillment is your fear surrounding the past, right? Things that went awry in a connection. That could be holding you back still. Something that caused you a lot of pain, a lot of grief, something that caused you a lot of confusion. Maybe there's still confusion and anxiety because of the lasting effects of this previous connection is blocking your blessings in some capacity. Not fully. I still see that coming in, but you're not achieving the optimum because there's still some residual energy from the past. And I feel like that's why this is coming up again, because it's not over. There's still things that need to be resolved within that. Okay. And in regards to your feelings then, the 9 of Cups in reverse, you have the Tower in reverse, you have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and you have the 8 of Pentacles. Wow. This is a lot, Cancer. I'm not going to lie. You've got a lot coming up in July, but I feel like it is the past being brought back to the present in order to be fully resolved and healed and released, right? So I feel like with the Tower in reverse, it's like building anew, right? It's like building on it's like removing the previous foundations from the previous tower and rebuilding from scratch on the same soil, right? So it's kind of like taking all that you've learned from the situation, all the understanding that you have, all the wisdom you've acquired, you know, the insight, and using it to build from scratch, okay? Using it to build stronger foundations, to build something that is longer lasting, right? That isn't going to come crashing down at the first sign of trouble. But that does mean investing heavily into your own well-being first and foremost, especially with the 9 of Cups in reverse and the 8 of Pentacles. That's all about self-mastery. That's like, investment of self, It's getting to the point where you have refined that understanding. You've refined your ability to, better navigate difficult circumstances and not bend when you need to stand firm, right? Because you've acquired the skills and the knowledge on how to approach difficult situations, how to reason with people, how to communicate with people. You have those skills, right? You have very good interpersonal skills, I feel like. But now you also have the awareness of how important boundaries are and not to overextend your boundaries in order to avoid certain confrontations, right? Or not speaking your mind on a subject matter because of fear of the consequences. So I feel like you're in a place now where you've really understood what it means to own your power, right? And to be in a place where you are truly equipped to deal with the task at hand, which you are, okay? You've acquired a lot of understanding from the experiences that you've had, right? So when this toxic situation rears its head again, you are better equipped to deal with it this time around. It's not the same, right? You are not the same, first and foremost. Okay, so clarifying the Daughter of Swords, the page, which is the Page of Swords. I don't know what's going on with my brain. Page of Swords. in the position of what's crowning you, you have the Ten of Cups in reverse, and you also have the Knight of Wands. Yeah. So you're looking at this very differently now. You're looking at things from a new lens. Because while you still stand firm to your beliefs and your principles and what you truly care about, right? You're not willing to put yourself through a lifetime of misery just in order to, I don't know, to explore the possibility of a connection that has no meaning or that has no longevity, right? That is pretty much what's coming up. So if this is in relation to an ex, for example, and they're coming forward with this energy, you're going to be like, nah, pretty much. You're just going to shut the door pretty much immediately in their face, because that's not what you're looking for and that's not what you value, right? It's not a part of what you want. That's not what you're building, right? You're not building towards this energy, are you? So you're just going to be like, basically, no. I don't see there being any future of any capacity for you and me. Goodbye. If this is in relation to some other type of connection, I feel like you're still going to be like, well, as much as I understand how it served its purpose, I understand that there's certain lessons I needed to come by, you know, in order to help me on this path. I appreciate your assistance in that. I respect that. And I respect that this is the vibe you're on, but it's not for me, you know, because I have different views. I want to approach my life very differently. So just because you're going in one direction doesn't mean I should follow suit, right? That it's my life. I will take, you know, I will approach my life in the way I feel is right for me, you know, because there may be someone, maybe a family member or a friend that's like trying to convince you that their way is the right way, and you're like, no, that works for you, but that doesn't work for me, right? Okay. So in regards to your advice here with the Magician in the upright, which is what we want, you have the Five of Cups in reverse, water energy, and you have the King of Swords in the upright. So Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You do have, you know, Aquarius come up and Gemini as well. So you could be dealing with either of those signs. Either way, I feel like with this being in the position of your advice, it's like if you are still fixated on the things that went wrong in the past, there is no way to really move forward and get to the heart of how to create serious changes in your life, you know, because your attention is constantly being drawn back elsewhere. So to get into the position of the Magician, you need to surrender all that happened in the past, completely release it up to the universe, you know. It's releasing attachment, but not just to the things that you lost and what happened in the past, but the things that you have currently as well. It's like, it's not appreciating what you have. It's not about not being grateful or enjoying it or loving or being, you know, compassionate or anything like that. It's about not suffocating what was once there and is not there and what is there, and being afraid that it might be gone. You know, it's releasing attachment of that, you know, of having to have something permanently in your life or it being yours, right? Because all of that comes from ego. You cannot manifest truly from a place of ego. You have to be in the more of the space of the observer, right? Than the, you know, the participant, you know, the hero of their own storyline, right? You need to be more of the energy of the observer. So you need to be, you know, detached on some level from it. And then once you do that, you'll be able to see very clearly and concisely what needs to take place, right? Without any bias. Because your bias may be holding you back also. Whereas if you can see things from a more rational and logical viewpoint, and see things really objectively, which is not easy to do, of course, but if you can truly see something far more objectively, then you can really step into the energy of the magician. So that's quite a challenge for you, Cancer, because obviously this is not your innate energy, right? But it's something you're kind of being called to do. And that will help to create equilibrium and balance within yourself as well, balancing those weighty emotions that you experience with, you know, the reality of the situation and the facts and the objectivity that is needed. All right. So the next card you have in regards to your external influences, the Six of Cups in reverse. You have the Death card again, but this time in the upright. Quite a bit of mirroring going on. And you also have the Two of Wands. So with Death being here again, strong Scorpio energy in this reading, it's a case of, and bearing in mind this is in your external influences, so when you're able to release the past and reclaim your power and understand that you hold the responsibility of your happiness, not whoever you was dealing with in the past, not whoever you're currently dealing with, no matter what the situation you were dealing with in the past and the present. Once you get to that point that I am solely responsible for my happiness, no matter what happens, boom, huge transformation. That's when this can finally be put to bed, right? From the past. That is when you're going to see that removed from the path that you're now walking, right? Serious change. It'll just be like, gone. So, interesting. Not necessarily that that person will be gone. I mean, it will depend on the situation, but that energy, that being tied to the past, feeling stuck, will be gone, will be lifted, and then you can just soar full steam ahead towards the magician energy here. Amazing. So, clarifying your fears, the Eight of Swords in reverse, you have the Four of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, this is it. This is like you're afraid to let go of the attachment because it makes you feel like whatever this attachment is, it makes you feel like maybe you were once on the cusp of achieving something great or acquiring something great or having the perfect life and losing it, right? And it makes you feel like if I let this go, I have lost my shot at having the perfect life. And that's not true at all. I can tell you that now. It's really not the case. That's the deception here. This is the self-deception here, thinking that, oh, I had something that could have been amazing, and now if I release that entirely, then I'm gonna lose my shot at having the perfect life, you know, which, yeah, that's not the case here, Cancer. I have to tell you, it's not the case. Because you are the one that can manifest the perfect life for you, no one else, right? And it doesn't have to even involve someone else, you know? So, yeah, it's just not true. I'm sorry, it's just not, okay? So, in regards to your hopes then, the the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Father of Pentacles. You have the Knight of Cups here, and you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So, what you're hoping is that you can find obviously emotional grounding of fulfillment and everything that you've been giving to everybody else, you can start giving back to yourself. Because you're done with like carrying so much weight on your back, only to then be burdened with the task of caring for everybody else's happiness, taking care of everyone else's needs, making sure everyone else is feeling good, while you are carrying all of this weight on your back, right? So you're getting to a point where you're like, I am responsible for my happiness. I am responsible for my stability. Therefore, that needs to be my primary focus. And I'm done pouring and pouring and pouring to everyone else right now. I'm bringing that back for me. All right. And then finally, in regards to your potential outcome here, the Three of Swords in reverse, you have the Devil. So Capricorn energy could very well be dealing with a Capricorn here. You also have the Six of Wands. You have the Chariot in reverse. So that's your energy, Cancer. And you also have the Four of Swords in reverse again. Oh boy. Okay. So we have options here. Essentially what it's saying with your potential outcome is you have the potential to overcome this pain, this real challenge that you've had, overcoming this emotional pain that you've carried for so long now. But it all depends on you, because it's getting to the point where it's self-imprisonment, right? With that Devil card there, it's showing it's self-imprisonment. This is something, at this point, this is something you're doing to yourself emotionally and psychologically, right? So there's a choice to be made. You can choose to get past this, right? Do what is needed, as we discussed, and release it for good. Or you can remain in this uncertain energy and be hanging on the precipice and hoping that, you know, it'll just get taken care of for you. But that's not going to move you any closer towards your goal, right? That's not going to help you start to manifest significant changes, right? So this is it, you know, it's all about a choice. It's like the only thing that's halting your progress in any capacity, even though you've been making progress and you've done a lot of work on yourself, Cancer, I feel like in regards to this particular aspect of your life, the only thing that's kind of halting your progress at this point is you and your perceived feelings of being stuck energetically, spiritually, emotionally attached to a past connection, or to a situation, or to pain in general, because it's going to be different for each and every one of you. But I feel like for some of you, it's the pain you've experienced in different connections, right? And that feeling of not being understood, appreciated, respected, loved, right? And not getting and having your kindness, your love taken for granted. So that's where you're struggling to get past for the majority of you. I feel like feeling like you're constantly, even now in some capacity, possibly with you know, a current love situation, or certain friendship groups, or a certain friend or family members, that they are taking advantage of you, that they are still not, you know, being the loving, supportive person or people that you needed, right? That you were always being towards them. So it's you making certain choices and carrying out the necessary steps in order to free yourself from certain attachments, free yourself from carrying this pain, and really truly get into the space of the Magician, all right? Breaking those chains, which has been a central theme for you. If you haven't seen the New Year readings, I suggest you go to my videos section of my page and check that out from the beginning of the year, because that's very relevant to this current situation as well. Breaking chains, breaking free of certain patterns, right? So I hope that helps you, Cancer. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And make sure you hit the notification bell as well, so you get notified as to when new videos go up for you. And yeah, I really hope this helps. I know you've got a lot coming up next month. Probably not really what you wanted to hear for your birthday month. However, this is a game changer, right? This is going to allow you to break out of this cycle and move truly towards your manifestation. So it's actually a very big it's an inflection point for you. So it's very, very necessary, needed at this time. So sending you lots of love, lots of strength and positive vibes through this process. And yeah, I'll do a reading for you guys very soon. So in the meantime, sending you lots of love, lots of happy birthday wishes, and wishing you a smooth as possible transition through this cycle. Take care. Bye.